Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Maheen Math Tutorials. In this video, we're going to go over a 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. But we're also going to go over, the United States method of 2 by 2-digit multiplication, as well as the Indian method and the Pakistani method. Make sure to like and subscribe, as well as share this YouTube channel with your friends and families. So without further ado, let us begin. So now we're going to start with explaining the United States method when it comes to 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. Now, I first want to start off that whenever you're multiplying 2 digits by 2 digits, it really is just a matter of basically breaking up this big math problem into smaller little math problems that you can now solve, and then adding the products of each particular math problem together to get the full answer. So what I mean by that is, first let me start off by introducing this math problem, 25 times 25. And let's see if I can use the United States method to try and figure out the answer for this particular math problem. So to start off this method of 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication, I first want to look at this particular number, 5. And bear in mind that 5 is in the ones place. So what I want to do is I want to grab this particular number, 5, that's in the ones place, and multiply it by this number over here, 5, that's also in the ones place. And I know on the top of my head that 5 times 5 equals 25. So I want to put 25 as the answer, but I also want to make sure that I carry the 2 to the other place. And why am I doing that? I'll explain a little bit later. But for now, I'm just going to put a 5 here. And I'll make sure to put a small 2 here just to make sure that I'll remember for later that's there. So now that I have the 5 here and the 2 right here, now what I want to do is I want to grab the same 5 that's in the ones place, and I want to multiply it to the 2 over here that's in the tens place. Now I know that 2 times 5 is 10. However, remember a little bit earlier, I put the 2 right here. And basically what this means is that I have an extra 2 to add to this particular answer, 2 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10, but 10 plus 2 is 12. So I want to put, instead of putting just 10 here, I'm going to put 12 here. So the answer for this particular part of the math problem is 12. And 12 added to these particular tens and hundreds place will give me the answer of 125. So now after I finish multiplying this 5 in the ones place, this 5 that's also in the one place, and this 2 that's in the tenth place, I got the final answer of 125. But this isn't the full correct answer for 25 times 25. So now I need to move on to this 2 that's in the tens place and do the same thing that I did with this 5 in the ones place. I need to multiply this 2 by this 5 that's in the ones place and by this 2 that's in the tens place. But before I do any of that, I need to do this one particular thing that's very important, and that is, let me just scroll down a little bit. I have to add this particular 0 right here. Okay, so now why exactly did I put a 0 here, even though I didn't do any particular math problem solving in order to get the 0? Well, first of all, me putting a 0 here is basically just acts as a placeholder so that I can know in my head that I'm already done multiplying this 5 to this particular number and to that particular number. So therefore, I don't need to add any more numbers when it comes to the ones place. That's why I put the 0 there. If I were to just put nothing there, then this math problem will look a little bit awkward. Since I won't be putting any new numbers there, it will just be a blank space. But now that I have a 0 here, it will actually add more to the math problem. It won't take away from the math problem. And you're about to see right now why that is the case. So now that I have this 0 right here, and now that I've fully completed getting this answer, 125, by multiplying the 5 by the 5 right here in the ones place, and the 5 to the 2 right here in the tens place, I can now move on to this 2 right here that's in the tens place. And now I can do the same thing I did with the 5. I can multiply 2 times 5 and 2 times 2. So now let's do that. So I know 2 times 5 is 10. However, with the 10, I'll have to put the 0 right here and then carry the 1 right here. Let me just cross out this 2 so I know I already used it and just put a 1 right here. And so now that I have the 2 zeros right there, I'll be able to move on to the next problem, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. But now that I have this 1 right here, it'll be 2 times 2 equals 4 plus 1, which will give me a 5, which will then equal up to 500. So now that I have this answer right here, 500, for multiplying the 2 in the tens place to the 5 in the ones place and the 2 in the tens place here. And now I also have this answer 125 for multiplying this 5 in the ones place, for multiplying the 5 in the ones place here and the 2 in the tens place here. Now I can add both of these products together in order to get the complete answer. So let me just put a plus symbol right here. And also draw a small line right here. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. And 1 plus 5 is 6. Make sure that there we go, 6. So now I know that the correct answer and full answer for 25 times 25 is 625. Now let's just go to the calculator to make sure that this is the correct answer. So let's see what 25 times 25 add up to. 625. So we got the correct answer, and we solved it using the United States method. So now we went over the United States method of 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. I now want to go over the Indian method. Now the Indian method is a little more complex, albeit similar to the United States method. Some parts are a little bit shorter and simpler, but in my opinion, it has an overall longer process of getting the full answer. So let's go over the Indian method now. So 18 times 14. Now that I know the math problem, instead of using the United States method where I just use the 4 and multiply it by the 8 and the 1, I just wanted to grab the 18 and the 4 that's in the ones place and just add them together. So 18 plus 4 equals 22. Now, the second part, the second step, is I want to grab the 22 and multiply it by 10. So 10 times 22 equals 220. Now then, the third part. I want to grab the 8 and the 4, just the 8 and the 4 in the ones place, and then multiply them together. So 8 times 4. So now that we have 8 times 4, we already know that 8 times 4 equals 32. Now that all we have to do is add 220 with the 32 that we have, and it will give us an answer of 252. And now that is the full and complete answer for 18 times 14 equals 252. Now let's look at the calculator to see if we got this math problem correct. Enter this new math problem into the calculator to see if we got it correct. 18 times 14 equals 252. Awesome. I'm glad because we solved this math problem using the Indian method as well. Now let's move on to the Pakistani method. So now that we went over the Indian method as well as the United States method when it comes to 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication, now that's all that's left is to go over the Pakistani method. And the Pakistani method, I think, is my personal favorite method, even though it might be a little bit more longer and a little bit more complicated than the other two methods. So now let's start this new math problem of 25 times 14. Now, before I use the Pakistani method to solve this math problem, or before I do any type of multiplication or addition, I want to first break up this math problem into 3 different brackets. I'm going to have these 3 different brackets at the bottom of this particular math problem. So, to start off with, I'll multiply this number 4, that's in the ones place, by this number 5, that's in the ones place as well. And I'll put that number here. Then, after that, I'm going to cross multiply these 2 numbers. I'm going to cross multiply 1 times 5 and 2 times 4 and add those together. I'm going to put that answer here in the middle bracket. And then I'm going to multiply 2 times 1. And then I'm going to put that number here in the left bracket. And then I'm going to add those numbers together to get the proper and full answer for 25 times 14. So let's begin. 5 times 4, that gives me 20. Now bear in mind, this whiteboard isn't really that good at drawing numbers, so it isn't me, it's the whiteboard. So all right, 5 times 4 is 20. Now 1 times 5 and 2 times 4. 1 times 5 equals 5, and 2 times 4 equals 8. And 5 plus 8 gives us 13. And now we'll move on to 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now I have 3 different numbers in each 3 of these brackets. Now, what do I do next? Well, since we're multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit numbers, I want to make sure that we're only working with 2-digit numbers and adding 2-digit numbers. So, as you notice here, I only have a 2, which is only a 1-digit number. So, just to make sure I turn this into a 2-digit number, I just put a 0 in front of it. Similar to the United States method where we put a 0 as a placeholder, we can put 0 as a placeholder in front of the 2 to make sure we're only working with 2-digit numbers. And now, what am I going to do next? For the 20, I'm just going to keep the 0 that's in the 1 place by itself. I'm just going to leave that as it is. I'm not going to do anything to it. And I'm going to add this 2 in the 10th place, and I'm going to add it to the 3 that's in the 1's place. That's going to give us 5, since 5 plus 3 equals 5. And I'm just going to carry along the 0 along with it. And the 1, I'm going to carry it over and add it to the 2 over here, which will give us a 3. And there we are. Using the Pakistani method, we now have the full and complete answer for 25 times 14. It gives us a total of 350. Now, that has been the 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication process by Mahim Math Tutorials. Make sure to like and subscribe and share the channel with your friends and families. Thank you and have a wonderful day.